last week I gave like an intro into what I do generally, just in case you want to know who the tutor is and into what I've done. I've worked with like various renowned brands across the globe, working remotely and also physically in with different brands, trying to build brand from ground, UI UX, build websites, build apps for different industries. So that's what we did last week. And then we discussed and introduced ourselves into the world of UI UX, what UI UX is, right? User interface, user experience. Why is it important, right? If you hear the word, does it just mean website? Does it mean apps alone? No, it's beyond that. It's our everyday lifestyle, from the interior design of your house to your cars, to the gadgets you have on your wrist or your leg, whatever the case may be. It goes beyond that. It's user experience as it may, it's the experience you get from whatever products, services you are using, right? If you have like a deal with someone and you're not satisfied with that deal, you probably back out from it. The same thing applies to your phone. The same thing applies to gadgets, website, interface, right? If your load speed of your website is too long, right? If people have to wait like 7-10 seconds before your website loads up, you probably leave and go to the next. That's why till date, if you search anything on Google, within seconds, you get your results, right? So that's what experience is, right? And then we started discussing on how you can use AI to, to boost your work, right? To make sure that you're on top of your game and to make your work easier. Okay, so also we started building our brand, what we wanted to do. So we discussed about the design processes, right? Now, when you hear UI UX design, right? So what is the process you have to take before you actually start designing something? You don't have to just, pick up your system and then just start doing this. There's a lot of things that have to go into this development. So the first thing was performing user research. And we all did this in class together because, of course, this is more of a practical class. That's what we're doing. And we just want to come to class and give everybody and say, okay, you know what, this is what we are doing. We discussed about user experience, as I said earlier on. And what we did in class was to carry out like a survey. Okay, I asked everybody in class, what do you want us to do? Right? What do we do? What should we build? And everyone decided that, okay, we want to build a food ordering website. And left to me, I wanted to build like AI. I wanted to design like AI website or so. But, we went with majority. And we did this on purpose because in carrying out your user research or in UI UX, for example, it's not about you. It's about your customers and the end users. What do they want? For example, you might want to say, okay, you know what, I want A, B, and then what your consumers are looking for is Z, right? At the end of the day, you will not consume your own product like all the time, right? You need profit. So you need to listen to what they're doing, which was what I demonstrated in class, right? I wanted to do something else. Everyone, chose this and then we went with it. Then we created our user persona, right? If you are in other fields, like, project management, business analyst, and all that, I'm sure you're very familiar with all these steps, right? Now, we used somebody in class, Adiola. I'm not sure if he's around today. So yes, we said Adiola is in his late 30s, right? Who just, migrated to Canada, for example. And he has been here for over 6 months and misses his, hometown food, African food. He's always eating burgers and fries and salty food and things like that, right? But he wants a place that he can get cheap amala, cheap inyon, gufe, and all those things. And yeah, so we came up with that. And then gathering information, we decided that, okay, everyone said the name of the brand is going to be Jackpot Food. And then we said, okay, no problem, Jackpot Food. Then we started discussing about colors, how we're going to choose the color, how we're going to do this and all. So we started using our first AI tool, which is called Chroma. So today, before we move into that, I just want to tell everybody, if you have your laptop, of course, if you're joining from your laptop, it's easier than your phone. we're going to be doing this practical together. So I would just ask that you start opening on your tab. All you need is just your browser. That's all. So please, again, if you are just joining us, please mute your mic so that we don't interrupt and so we can save time moving on, so we can have like a smooth transition throughout. Okay, so open on your website, just go to figma.com. And also in the chat, all the sites that we're going to be using today are being pasted there so that you can, open it already, and then you can follow as I'm demonstrating. I will try as much as possible to go slowly when it's time for demonstration so we can all follow. Figma.com. You would need to create an account before you can use the app. So figma.com, please open that, create an account, just your email is free, create an account, and then when we get there, you would be able to, to join on as we move on. Okay. Okay, so before we move into the practical aspect, right, I want to just talk more on how you can become a professional UI UX designer, right? So beyond, learning how to do these things, you need to have certificates. Now, for some of us that want to actually build a career out of, this, there are so many certifications that you can get out there, right? But one of it, and I know one that I have, that is also very good and recognized across by different brands and companies, right? Google certification, professional UX UI designer. I would advise that if you want to keep on, doing those are exams that final, that's like the expert level that you can get. But before you go for those exams, you have to be trained, right? You have to, learn all these things, and then you write the exam, and then you're certified. Any questions so far? Okay, so I'll move on. Okay, so from where we left, where we dropped things last week, I'm going to start from there. So again, if you have your websites, can I get to know how many people would be following through with this practical? So I know how many people I'm carrying along and the pace at which I move. You can just drop in the chats if you're going to be following through with this on your laptop. And if you are, while we do that, if you're also going to, okay, please also open Chroma is the first one that we'll be using. Thank you for signifying. Thank you. Chroma is the first one that we'll be using. The link to Chroma is on the chat, so you can do that right now. And we're going to try and be fast with what we do. So I'm going to bring that up right now. Last week, we started selecting our colors. And again, for those of us that are just joining, Chroma is an AI tool that helps you as a designer. Now, where we left things last week was for us to start building the brand, right? Selecting the colors for what we want to do. You just don't go into the app and start building it, right? We're trying to do things right to reduce the time spent on building a app, right? So for example, if you're a project manager and you have a brief, right? You just don't go to tell your designer, okay, build this web page for me, and that's all. You should know what you are telling him to do. You know what? The first thing I need for you after we've done our research and everything, can you give me a style guide? This is an inspo for people that are not designers, but you need to know about it. Give me a style guide. Style guide is you already know that your designer is going to use this color, is going to use this font, is going to do this. Now, that might not be the final thing, but it's carrying you along, and you're also sharing with your stakeholders to reduce, the time spent in the back and forth. So yes, if you have Chroma open, please let me know. Please signify if you have Chroma open now. As I said last week, Chroma is an AI tool that helps you to be able to select colors well. And what it does is there's something called psychology of color, right? If you are building a brand that has to do with like an NGO brand that is like it's into, say, breast cancer or something like that, right? The type of colors that you will use has to be related to the people that will benefit from such NGOs, right? You won't go and use a black color for NGO like that, right? You kind of turn towards colors that speak to femininity, that speaks to empowerment, speaks to inspiration and things like that. And the way you know all those colors, right? You can go to Google and just, research more about psychology of color, what red means, what yellow means. All this color actually means something. And if you want your brand to last long, you need to have a very good touch through colors, brand colors that you use. So gone are those days when you have to pay designers, thousands of nairas to come up with your brand identity. Right now, in the comfort of your home, even using AI, you can generate colors that that these are scientifically proven to speak to your target audience. So I will start with this. When you open Chroma, I'm sure you will see an interface like this. Also, guys, please, if you are seeing something different from what is on my screen, feel free to put on the chat and to call my attention to it, and I will go. So the first thing that you will do is it's going to tell you to choose 50 colors. And why you are doing that is you have to teach the AI the kind of colors that you want to use. So before you go ahead and start choosing colors, now our target audience and from our user persona, we already know who the guy is, right? The guy is probably not interested in too bright color because he's no more in his early youth age. He's still kind of young, but now is probably looking for colors that are more mature and looking at the brand, Japa Food, online food business, right? We kind of stay with not too bright, but in between and not too dark. So I'm going to just select 50 colors. So as I'm doing this, please go ahead and select 50 colors of your choice, right? We're going to have different results. So go ahead and select different colors. So for example, on my screen, I have like this green. This green looks good for me, for example. This rich mid-tone orange looks good for me. I'm not choosing magenta. It's too bright. I don't think it talks to the brand I'm trying to build, right? And again, as I said last week, I'm working based on assumption, but when you are working on a real project, please do not work based on assumption. Work based on facts and figures, and which you should have gotten from your user research. So what we are doing now, for those of us that are just joining us, I'm selecting these colors based on our research that we've done in the class together. All right, so I'll try and just speed up this process by selecting various colors. Please go ahead and select those colors now. You can obviously select more than 50, but yes, this kind of magenta, I can select it, just trying to teach so that the AI knows the kind of color I'm looking for and doesn't bring out, crazy colors for me. 21 to go. And you will notice something. If you are picking too much dark colors or too light colors, the AI will signify and tell you that try and mix in a bit of bright colors so that it's not too, so that it's accurate. All right, so I've selected all my 50. Can we all signify if we all selected that in the class? If we all selected 50 colors, are we ready to go? So I show the next step in the process. Okay, so I'm going to start my own. So when you're done, select it. Okay.
Sorry, I just joined you. Please don't be offended.
No, it's okay.
So where can I start from?
Okay, so just click on go to the website. You open your browser, then input the URL chroma.co. Then in the chat, all the URLs that we're going to be visiting, all the sites that we're going to be visiting have been pasted there. The first one we're using now is chroma.co. And that's where we left things last week, and we're picking up from there. We're trying to select our brand colors now. So once you open the site, this should be what you see, right? If you don't see this, it will bring up like the splash page when you have like the multiple colors, but you will see a button, a CTA there, call to action button that says generate. So click on that, then it should bring you to this page that you can see on my screen currently. Then go ahead and select 50 colors. Just scroll down and select 50 colors. And having in mind what we discussed last class, we are selecting colors that we assume are, that our target audience would like. And we use our user persona as the example. So go ahead and select 50 colors. Then when you are done, look at the top right corner that says start training. I believe those of us that are in the process should be there. Someone said I'm lost. Are you found now? Are we good? Are we good to continue? Okay, done. Okay, it's training. Okay, top right corner, click on start training. So the training might take a while depending on the type of colors that you select. So once this starts training, I'll move to something else. So it should start showing you training 2% accuracy and this. So I'll tell you the process, what this is doing. So what it's doing is it's actually comparing the psychology of colors to what you've chosen and looking for balance in between that. Okay, legibility. So most people end up, so if you see like a white background, they put like a very light yellow text on it. The legibility is not good. Like from afar, you won't be able to see what it is, right? So you should be able to use colors that, the contrast is, accurate. People can easily see what you're writing, right? And then the background is still very attractive and everything. So while this is going on, we'll move to the second AI tool that we're going to be using, right? So that I will show you. The second AI tool does the same thing, almost the same thing, but just a little bit, advanced in a way. This one will show you just full color and accuracy. This guy gives you more than that. So if yours is still, this takes a bit of a time, please just open another tab and type in colormind.io. Colormind.io. Just to inform us again, because of our time, I will try as much as possible to speed up some things so that we can, gain more ground today. Colormind.io. Then click on it, then you should see this interface. I will also ask that we please, signify in the group so that I can know that we're making progress and I'm not just, moving too fast. Are we all on colormind.io while our Chroma is still generating? Thank you very much. Oh, done training. Okay. Done training. Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. So while I wait for mine to finish, I'll show us ColorMind. So ColorMind is another AI tool that is also very, very good. It's very good for selecting your colors. Yes, you're on ColorMind. Awesome. Okay, picking. Okay. So start training when you're done picking the colors. Start training and then move to ColorMind. Just create another tab. Then put in the URL colormind.io. You can also find the URL in the chat. Okay, so ColorMind does almost the same thing, but it's a little bit advanced, and I'll tell you why. So for example, all you have is a reference, right? You saw a logo or you saw a picture of a building and said, wow, I like the color of this building, right? I like the colors that they've selected. I want to see how I can use this color in my own brand and how it will fit. Even so, you don't have to tell your designer to go ahead and start designing with those colors. You have to check how it fits and how everything plays out first before you start using all those things. So I'm going to move into this ColorMind has more features, but I'm more particular about this image upload feature. So click on image upload, just on the top bar here, navigation here. Click on image upload. Then you should see this interface. I will zoom in so you can see. Then there's this button here, image upload, by this side. So you click, the first thing you click is on the top navigation menu here, image upload. I'm also zooming in my screen so we can see what I'm doing. Then you click on image upload. Then it should, open up your module if you're using a Mac or Windows. So select any picture just for demonstration. Select any picture that you like. I would select a picture now, then we can demonstrate from there. Then it opens your image. You see your image down. Please excuse the image that I have opened on the laptop. But for some of us that have wrestling, there's something going on. You should go and buy your tickets so that you can enjoy the show.
As we've uploaded now, what should we do on ColorMind? We should click generate.
Yes, click. Yeah, it automatically generates for you.
Yes, that's generated. So what do I do next?
Yes. So just hold on. So once you upload that, just right on top of it, you see the colors that are generated. So the colors are generated based on the colors that it can find on the image that you've uploaded. Do you get? So that way, you already know that, okay, this image that I like that is beautiful, these are the colors that were used, right? And these are the color code. There's something called, so how you reference color, there are different ways by referencing colors. You can reference by RGB, right? Red, green, blue. You can reference by CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, black. You can reference by Pantone color. And then for web, which you should be concerned about, is called X, HEX. X. That's how you identify colors in let me say the digital world. That's how they identify colors. Just like computers understand 0 and 1s. That's how colors are being identified. So in case you see all these numbers, most times you will see like ash next to it. So don't worry too much about this. When we get into Figma, I will explain further about what, how these colors match. So if you are good with this color, you can say, okay, yes, I like these colors. These are the colors that I want to use. Save them somewhere. So for me, for the purpose of this, I'm not going to use this. So I'm just going to leave it right there. Okay. Are we good?
Yes. Well.
Okay. Also, please, if you are joining, please remember to be on mute while you join. So just to briefly explain further what this what ColorMind does. Again, if you click on website colors on the top navigation menu, it takes you back to like the home page, right? So just below the colors that are listed here, you will see generate. So right here, you can keep on generating things. You can keep on generating, keep on clicking on it. It brings out different colors. So when you see the one you like, you're like, oh, okay, I like this color. This one looks a little bit youthful, feminine and things like that. Okay, I think I want to use this for my NGO colors, right? Again, these are the X colors. You can take them. So peradventure, if you notice that I like this purple, right? But I don't like these other colors. What can you do? All you do is come to this side here, right? You can see some buttons here. This is a padlock button. Click on this padlock. It means you've locked this color, right? But it's going to keep on generating other colors. So if I click on generate, it generates the other colors, but still leaves that color for me because I said I like that color. Okay, so this is like
Which
human.
one is this on ColorMind also?
Yes, this is ColorMind. Yes.
On my own, I did not see that padlock.
So you have to go back to website colors. Go back to your tab. Website colors. Your navigation menu. Go to website colors.
I don't understand.
Okay, so this is how your ColorMind looks. Your navigation, where you have the logo of ColorMind up here.
Okay.
Then you have good. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
All right. Have uploaded. What next? Okay, so as I said earlier, if you upload, you will see the colors. That one is straightforward. That's a template. So right here, let's say these are all the colors that we want. So if you go to website colors, the colors will be listed just below it. And if you want more colors, just click on the button below that. You see generate, where you can generate new colors. If you like one color and you don't like the remaining, just click on the padlock button next to them. They all have padlock buttons. Means I like these two colors, but generate more colors. So it will keep on generating the other colors for you. So for me now, for this demonstration, I'm okay with these colors that I have. Once you have that, just scroll down a little bit and you can see what it has done with the colors I've selected. So it is showing me an application of those color on different instances. So if I'm creating like social media posts and I want to use that color, see the way the dark color that I have, see the way it looks, right? On the background, see the other color I have, accent colors, see how it looks like on image treatment. If I put this on image, this is how it looks like. So if I'm creating like, and also for like your UI component, see what it has done for me. It has created based on my selection, like different colors that I can use, for my button, for my navigation menu, for all of this. So tell me, Gone are those days when we don't have some of all these tools. You literally have to create all these things from scratch by yourself. You have to go through so many, steps and say, oh, I don't like this color. I don't like this. And again, imagine when you as a designer, you've gone through so many processes of designing, use the color on multiple components. And then one of the stakeholders says, I don't like this color. I don't do this. I don't do that, right? You'd have to go back and, choose other colors again. So it's good to have all of this. I say, okay, yes, I'm okay. I've seen the way it looks on this thing. I can take a screenshot and show, one of the stakeholders. Now, the same thing, you are not a designer, you're a project manager, and your designer is telling you, I cannot find this color. I cannot do this. I don't know how it will look. You can just go straight to ColorMind, go to this AI tool, look for this, see how it's going to look like on these multiple, channels that you have, and then you're good. All right. So we move back to Chroma. Can we move?
Yes.
All right. I believe everyone is good on ColorMind. We're moving away from ColorMind. All right, I'll move. Okay. So, all right, thank you. So moving back to Chroma. So because it's an AI tool, it's in its beta state, it gives you all these modules that like quick tutorial on how to move around. So you can play around things. So, but what it comes up with for you, based on the colors that I've selected, it sort of gives me the different contrast and says, okay, if I'm using this green as my background, this is a potential color I can use for my text. If I'm using this one, this is a potential color based on this. And based on this, I can say, I like the way, I have this, is it like dark purple and then this carton brown color on it? That is what it does. So it gives you multiple choices. So I can say, okay, I want to use this color or that color and, whichever one you like. So merely looking at this color, this mint green, right? I can say, for example, it has a very, very bad contrast because from afar, I might not really see what the text is, right? It's a very bad contrast. And how you would know that, so I'll show you here, right? So you click, if you mouse over each card, they're called cards, right? You can see. So I'm on number 27 on my own. On your own laptop is going to be different. But just click, just move your mouse over the card, and then you will see on your top right corner, you'll see some information. You click on details, it brings out this. So you can see the color code of the mint green and also this color called Pelorius. There's so many colors in the world that I cannot even begin to understand everything. So, so what it does, bias, right? This mint green is a good color on its own. It has 100%, right? And this other color, not so sharp, not so good, and you can see the bias is 76%, right? And then you can see this ratio, it means fail. And what that means is this is not a good match. So instantly you can know that I don't want to
Where
have.
did you see the ratio? Where's the ratio?
Sorry?
Where's the ratio?
WCAG.
Okay.
Yes, is a fail. I cannot use this color, right? So if somebody is telling you, oh, use this color and this color in your brand Pantone color, they can't use the two colors together. That's just what it means. They can use maybe one of it with another color that provides a brighter contrast, but it won't. And it's advisable if you're having a brand color, do not use more than four colors. Do not use more than four colors.
If
Now,
it says AA, does that mean it passes?
yes,
Oh,
that means the contrast is good. So I will
okay.
show you example. This other one on my own site is bad. So off the top of my head, I can tell you this one. Sorry, guys. This lucky point is it has a very good contrast. So I'm just going to go through it. Okay, you see, it has AAA and contrast. So if you are not a designer, you don't have to be a designer with years of experience before you start to identify these design tools, right? And this is why I'm taking time for us to understand these things, because when we start designing, these are the things that will make your design look great. Aside you putting image here, are you using the right colors, right? So this one too, maybe, yeah, it's also good, but the bias is not so great, right? So it has AA on it. So you can You can check that from the colors that you have generated on your own. Now, interesting thing about it is if you want to see just the color on the color and not text on, like a background, come to your top left. Yeah, so my top left here, guys. So this first button is where you can, check your results based on type. The next one is where you can check it based on poster. And what that just means is you can see it based on color on color, color on color. So I'll click on it and then I can see right on, okay, this is the color I'm using, this is the color I'm using. But more interesting part about this chroma
What
is
did you click?
top left corner.
Yeah, which one? Which one of them?
I clicked on this second one, poster.
Okay.
So you can see if you click on poster, it's going to show you like this. You see like side by side the two colors that you want to choose, and then you can see. Now, if you also click on the top left corner, you will see gradient. Now, nowadays in design, there's this obsession with gradient background, gradient cards, and all of those things that we use. It's actually very good because, I mean, in the likes of AI coming into play, futuristic design, that's like the future of not just using plain background, multiple backgrounds, especially neon color palette. So moving into other ones, right? Images. Now, this is good, especially for designers and developers. So this is where it comes into play. So designers will go ahead and design a lot of things, right? But to translate that into web might give the developers, stress. So you as a project manager or, product owner and all that, it is important that you make sure that your team are using the right tool for efficiency across board, right? You don't want your designer to be using one tool and your developer in another country does not know how to use that same tool or is going to find it difficult to implement, right? So if there's any, and what is called photo treatment is when you have like normal image taken, like with normal color, realistic and everything, but you don't want it to be like that because you want to be able to put text on top of it and you still want it to be legible, right? So you have to apply some sort of color overlay on top of it, like filters. We all understand what filter is, right? So that's what, all this color treatment means. So example, based on the colors that I have, and I say, okay, I like the way I have my image behind this bluish purple color, sort of. That is what I want to use, right? So the same thing applies. Click on it, click on details. You can see the color. You can see AA large. This is a good, color to use. And now to the interesting part that also helps developers. So that you don't have to design images. Like in the traditional world, what we would usually do was tell our designer rather to always create an image that has this filter. You probably have to go into Photoshop, put the original image, now put like an overlay on top of it to make it look good and all that. You can just copy code. There's this button here that says copy code. If you click on it, you will get the code that will be able to replicate this same effect on an image. So that way your developer, all he needs to do is give him the code. He can always give him original image. So let's also please try, if you are just joining, right, to also put our mic on mute so that we can hear ourselves and take out options.
My own is just showing two, the I sign and the love sign. It's not showing the other ones.
Okay, are you on this image? Are you on image? So go to the top left corner.
Okay.
Make sure you are on image. Can you see my mouse?
Okay, yes, okay, I'm there now. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So you'll be able to see that you can copy code, and if you want to see how it is, you can swap the color, and then it works out very well. And you see, then you want to also, this is an AI that you have to also keep teaching, right? To know what you want. You can always click on this button to say, okay, my favorite, so that next time he understands what you want to do and all. Okay.
When you copy the code,
yes,
what do you use the code for?
So you give it to your developer, right? Or if you are the one designing the website by yourself, if you have coding, knowledge, you use that code to replicate this same effect on images.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So you don't have to get a designer to keep on designing this thing every time. So every time you want to change an image on your website, you have to call the designer. Please, I'm sending you the original image that has like real color. Let me put that same effect that you always do. And then this guy keeps charging you every time for, simple thing. Whereas you've come here, you have your code that will generate this same effect on any image. So on your website, just upload your original website. On the back end, you've instructed the system to keep on putting that overlay on top of it. And that's all.
Right.
Good. So you copy the code and all. So now moving to another interesting part is where you see how these colors are being translated, are being used for applications, say UI UX components, my buttons, if I'm using it on a graphic design, social media banners, how is it going to look and all. So you can also click on palette. This is where it generates the palette for you. So hold on, it has to also generate. So go to your top, the navigation menu, top left, click on palette, you see all of this. So it has created this for you. You see based on all the colors that you have. Are we all good?
Yes, we're good. But I want to ask, is this thing, is it free or you have to pay for this site?
This is very free. Very
Okay.
free, at least for now. They are still in their beta stage. But I've been using this for a while now. Anytime I'm about to start a new project, this is what I use and gets me started. So if I'm even creating a brand for people, this is my go-to site, and ColorMind. So that's why I also showed you ColorMind, depending on what the client. So I'm showing us these two softwares because we have different people, different stakeholders, right? They can just come to you and say, I just like this image. This is my reference. So most times as designers, right, people will usually say, oh, go and look at this site, go and look at this one. If you are there, just take a screenshot of the site, come to ColorMind, generate something from that.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do it, for example, you look at the sites, maybe
Yes.
you don't like the color, then will this site, ColorMind show you, or Chroma, will it show you the best, it will show you the best color. If it shows you the best color, how do you now tell your developer to say, okay, you know what, this is the color I want?
Okay. So Chroma doesn't generate, colors based on reference in terms of pictures that you upload on it. It generates best colors for you based on what you teach it to do, which is the first exercise that we did. Now, what we did during our research was to identify the kind of colors that our target audience would like, right? And then we came up here and said, okay, our target audience is in his 30s, is going to probably like dark, but in between colors, bright, but not too bright, right? Dark, but not too dark, just cool colors. And then we selected based on that 50 colors. And what it did, you can see all the colors that I have here are in between, not very, very bright, still mellow. This one's on this side might be a little bit bright, but still in between. So now that you have this, you can easily so if this is the color that you want, this one that my mouse is over, right? Click on the details. These are the colors, X colors, right? Just copy it out.
Are you still on palette?
No. I'm no more on palette. I went back to type. Even if wherever you are, even on palette or type, right? Just copy the colors. You can copy from here. You can find the RGB colors.
Okay.
So for those of us that are not familiar with what color means, as I said, I would explain further when we move to Figma, because that's where we're going next now, right? So we have different type of colors, how you identify colors. It's just like when you want to paint your house, they would usually give you like there's always like a book, right? Where you can see Pantone colors and say, okay, this blue is too dark, is to this one, is to that, right? You can choose whatever color. The same thing applies to web. Now we call them X colors, right? You can also identify it as RGB, right? CMYK is more for printing and press and all that. So this is the color that you can identify up here. So you can copy this, save it somewhere, and say, guy, my developer, this is the colors that I want to use. And you can take a screenshot Can we also try to mute, please, so that we don't interrupt the class? Thank you. So you can take a screenshot of what it looks like and, give the person for reference. Are we clear?
Yeah, I have a question. So do you have like a hard cutoff for the percentage? So for like example, I have two colors here. One is 71, the other one is 72, and it's showing me the AA ratio. Is there a hard cutoff? Like, let's say if it's less than 70, don't choose or something like that. Is there a rule like that?
Yes. So I would say when it comes to color, for me, I don't have like a say hard cutoff, but anything below 50, I just don't even go there at all. And even the system, the AI would not even recommend it for you. You would definitely see there's going to be a fail. So anything above 70 is still like AA. So I would say target to go for anything from 70 and above, right? And again, it's also looking at it with your, looking at it visually and saying, is this a very good color in terms of contrast? If I get a design and they're using this color, excuse me, will I see very well? Will I not? Now, if I'm looking at the one, I'm looking at my screen now, this Kingfisher and then this casserole. Now, which one do I think has very high contrast? The Kingfisher, of course, because the background is, very dark and I can see this Kingfisher very well. So again, in UI UX, you have to design for everybody, right? Your design has to be, accessible for everyone, right? And it's not just for designers, for everyone as well. Good?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So here, just to also show you more again, this bias, if you look at your top right corner, 50-50, that's like the cutoff point, 50-50, and that's what I usually even use. And you have the opportunity to set it. If you increase it, it's going to change the colors for you. So I would usually just say that's what I've set before, because this AI works based on what you've initially set before. I've set it to 50-50, and so anything based on that, that's what it just gives me. No, this is a good color for like beauty brand and all. Okay, so what I would do now is let me now get our Pantone. I'm generating the Pantone. I'll look for one, then that's what we're going to go ahead and use for our food. The next thing we're going to do is to try and create our logo. I'm sure a lot of people will be interested in this.
You said Pantone?
Yeah. Excuse me. I use Pantone to select my colors. That's what I call them sometimes. But palette, I meant palette up here.
Yeah. I wanted to be sure of what you mean by Pantone. That's why I was confused.
Yeah, okay. I understand. Okay, so
I'm sorry to take you back.
Yeah, it's okay.
You talked about the bias, and are you able to set the bias 50-50? Now,
Yeah.
I put my cursor on that bias. I'm not able to set it. It gives me a diagonal arrow.
Yes, so that is also a fault in their user experience. Thank you for even calling that out. So, example, if you own these sites now, this is something that your user would not like. I've also tried to do it and click on it to be able to impute. I can't. And the only way you can do that is to hold down your mouse, right click on your mouse, drag left to reduce, right to increase. Can you please try that?
Perfect. It worked. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. So for now, that's the only way to make it work. For our Japa Foods, that's the name of our brand. I'm going to choose a color. So as I'm doing this, also choose a color on your own for what you want the Japa Foods brand to be. For the sake of this, I would select this guy. So I have Lucky Point, Dandelion, Carrara. So again, I've found out that different sites, they have different names for different colors. That's why I don't even bother, contending with those colors. All I want to do with is the hexagonal color code, and that's what I use, right? So they have so many names, and that's all. So what I would do, first of all, I want to take a screenshot of this just for my keep and for me to recognize you. I'm sure we all know how to take screenshot on our system. If you're using a MacBook, Shift Control 4, You'll be able to take a screenshot. If you're using Windows, I can't remember those shortkeys for Windows. I'm sorry. Stop using Windows a while
You
ago.
drag Windows Shift S, it will give you
A screenshot, exactly. Thank you very
a
much.
drag.
S, eh?
Yeah,
Shift.
Windows Shift S.
Windows Shift S.
Okay,
Yes.
Windows Shift S. Okay, okay.
Yes. So you take a screenshot and just keep that, and then you can open up lucky points. So I would advise you open like so when you start a project, it's good to open like a Word document or wherever you put your information. Just open it and then start taking note of the color codes. I will do the same on my end here. I'll just open a new tab and I'll start putting in my colors there. So I'll give us like 1 minute to also put that down, because these are the colors that you're going to input inside Figma when we get there.
So I think you lost me. Can you go back a little bit?
Okay, what point? So what
So
we are,
when you say shift something X, I think you lost me there.
okay, so what I said was, for record purposes, we just take a screenshot of the color palette that you want to use. So I came to my top left corner, I clicked on palette in the navigation menu here, palette, then it showed me all these colors. Then you scroll to the one that you want to use. So I found this one, right? Then click on this information button, right? Icon to see the color codes and copy the color codes. If before then, yes, you can take a screenshot of what this color looks like. So if you're using MacBook, Shift Control, then Figure 4, using Windows, Windows S, I think.
Windows Shift
Shift
S.
S. Yes, Windows Shift S. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I've stopped using Windows a while ago. So some of all those shortkeys are out of my thought. Yes. Control. Oh, for command. Yes, command. Use command. Shift Command 4. If you use 5, that would take the whole screen. 4 would help you to be able to select the particular region. So take a screenshot of that. You can save that somewhere in a folder. I would advise you create a folder to start putting all this. Windows on print shift, it will also work. Yes, so if you're using Windows, yes. Windows, then click on print shift, that would also work. So the next thing I said we should do, copy out the hexagonal colors. And that's what I was doing. Feel free to write out the names that this AI has given you. You know, you can reference those colors based on that. Okay, so we'll move in the next 30 seconds. Okay. So also remember what I said, that if you want to choose a brand color, right, try as much as possible to limit it to 4, right? A lot of people, because you like so many colors, you go ahead and use 6, color palette, 6 colors, for your brand. It's not good, right? If left to me, I would just use 2, but for diversity, it's good to have at least maybe 4 and say, okay, these are my primary colors, these are secondary colors. And then when it comes to websites, you're going to have other color tones that would be derived from based on, those colors that you've chosen, because you might want to have like accent colors and the likes. We good? Moving on. Okay. So again, if the links and the URL to the site we're going to be using, they are all on the chat, so you can click on it. So please, you can start opening a new tab. Open a new tab and click on neonado.ai. Neonado.ai.
Leonardo.
Yes, we are moving into creating, our logo. We have our colors already, so we need an idea for logo, right? And this is also an opportunity for me to show you how to generate images, AI generations, right? So we're going to be just teaching ourselves how to generate images. For example, you are starting from scratch. You don't have the budget to go and do photo shoots for example, our food ordering business now. We need images of food. We need images of, say, amala, inyo, all those sort of local dish, right? So you can use AI tools to do that. I must say, before we start, they are not 100%, but I mean, the next couple of years, trust me, with what AI is doing right now, we might even not need to do physical, photography anymore, right? You generate images from AI and so on. Okay, so I'm going to open a new tab. So in case you don't get the URL right, you can also go through Google and click on it. Again, you are going to have to create an email, an account with them. I have an account, but I will just create a new one just for the sake of this. Please signify when you have that so that I can start.
Are we going to create accounts with them or something?
Yes, please go ahead and create account so that yes, we can demonstrate it together. You have to see how it works. Because some of the things you create. Go ahead.
Okay, but for the Chroma, I didn't create any account. I was still able to use it.
Yes. Chroma, because that's what I'm saying, because they are still in their beta state, they need a lot of people to use it,
Okay.
but Leonardo is more of an advanced tool. So you don't have to pay, right?
How do we go to Leonardo now?
Just open a new tab and click on and just input the URL, leonardo.ai. It comes up like this. Then you click on create an account. Create an account with your email. That's all. Please do not add your credit card or anything. They don't need that anyways. And we don't need that for the demonstration of this class. Just put it in, create an account.
Okay, so create an account.
Yes. Okay. Can I move on?
What's our secret?
Oh,
Okay. And guys, we could, doing all this, we could have easily just gone into our software and start, guessing.
Application error.
Excuse me?
It's showing application error. A client-side exception has occurred.
Okay.
Yeah, for that one, it happened to me also. For that one, you could go back to the tab and re-click again. It will now take you back to this page that we see here
that you see
on the screen. Just disregard that. Click out of that that screen, then go back and repeat the same process. It will take you to this page.
Yeah, so that's probably on their own site, website, thousands of people are using this. Okay, that's okay. Thousands of people are using this, this site every day. So sometimes you might have this kind of glitch, but it's perfectly fine. Just reload and then it should be all right. So you get this splash screen, right? It's like a welcome screen where you get to, put your name and all. So I'm going to call mine, give yourself a username, that's all, anyone. Then what are you interested in? So depending on your industry, the type of things that you want to do, right? So I'm going to select quite a few. Yes, and this, and stock images. So be sure to click on stock images because, those are the things that you'll be using it for. If you want to, build your website, you don't have access to things like Shutterstock and the likes. Then click on I confirm, I'm over 18 and all. Next. Then you can skip, you can, if it gives you any pop-up, you can skip all of that. All right, so if you go there, I must warn you, it looks a little bit, a lot of things are going on the page, but don't bother yourself about all that. We're just going to
I've
focus.
confirmed.
Huh?
I've confirmed. It's telling me maybe he said I should introducing photo reel. What does this mean? Let me close it.
All right, so for
Okay, for me, the next is not like that.
okay, sorry everyone, I had to mute everyone first of all, so that we are beginning to have like echoes overlay. Can we please make use of the chat? Or if you want to talk, please signify, raise up your hand, and I can unmute. So that way we have a smooth transition all through. Thank you very much. So while I wait for people to signify, you can put a comment on the chat or you raise your hand and I'll mute you. Yes, so if you want to also talk, please unmute yourself and then you can also talk. Thank you. Yes, so as I was saying, do not be intimidated by all these buttons that you can find here, right? It's just AI and then the rise of all this. All you need for now, let's go to image generation, which is the first thing on the page. Where you see get started, just below it, click on image generation.
Hello, please, I'm lost. Can you please go back?
Okay. Okay, I will go back to this page. Have you created an account?
I've done that.
All right. So when you opened, what you can see on my screen now, can you find that?
No, I can't.
Okay, what can you see on the screen?
Welcome to Leonardo AI. Get started and pick your username. That's all what I can see
All
on
right.
my screen.
Okay, so put your username, just put any name at ABCD and so on. Put your username, then below it will prompt you to select what you want to use this software for. So you can select two things or just three things based on the industry that you want to use this thing. Be sure to select stock images, because remember, what we'll be using this tool for is, to generate like images. If you don't have access to, images, you can't afford. So there are stock images websites properly that you can sign up for and pay on a monthly basis. Things like Shutterstock, iStock images, all that. You have to pay for all those can use. But this is also thinking forward and using AI to generate some of all these things for us. And this just us demonstrating it. Okay. We'll try and be fast. I want us to try as much as possible to build at least our first web page today, even if we don't finish it, and then we continue next week, but we'll build our first web page and all. Okay, so if you do that, then click on get started and then you should see the screen. So if you don't, also feel free to put a message in the chat and I would try as much as possible to come back. So for some of us that are already here, click on image generation and you can start already playing around with it. So for this demonstration, they allow you up to 3 trials to test the way it is before you have to sort of pay for the full version of this site. And so this is us just demonstrating. Now, the reason why I've chosen Leonardo, I'm going to tell you there are a lot of others. We have Chat GPT, there's Dell 2.0, I think, in Chat GPT that you can use. And you also have to pay for all those versions, but they are not as permit me to use the word sophisticated as Leonardo. I've tried all others and I will just show us briefly so you see. Leonardo, the other one that is free that you can use, completely is Adobe Express and it's free. All you just need to do is sign up, right? So before we do that, I'll go ahead and generate a prompt. Okay, so if you see this button, then you will see where you can type in a prompt in this interface under AI image generation here. So I'm going to type in Something. I mean, we can also make this interactive. Please put in the chat room, tell us what you want us to generate, and I will generate that for us. But for right now, I want to generate
Sorry, please. Where did you see the AI image generation?
okay. So if you go back on the page, on the landing page, you're going to see everything you can do with this Leonardo. There's AI image generation. Sorry, you have Canva editor where you can edit, images. You can create motion, real-time generation, right?
Okay.
So click on the first one, image generation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then when you click on that, you see AI image generation, and then you can put in your prompt. Please, as I said, you are given like I think 3 trials of things that you can generate. So don't waste everything up on trying to
Wait, so I think I'm lost now.
okay, let's find you. Where are you?
So I mean, where it's telling me upgrade now to become a true alchemist. I don't know. Welcome to Leonardo Alchemy.
You probably click on the pop-up screen. So go back, or what you can do is just go to the top left corner where you can see the logo, Leonardo AI. Click on it.
I'm not even saying that. I'm trying to go back.
Okay. Or just go back to app.leonardo.ai.
Okay, let me sign in.
Okay.
Let me sign in again.
All right. So I'll just.
You know what? I think that sometimes when it happens like that, there's a glitch. So you exit that page and then go back again and repeat it again, because it happens to me. This is the second time it's happening.
Okay. So also some of all these softwares they're in their early stage, and that's what I was, trying
Okay,
to.
I've signed in now. I'm on get started. So I should click generate image, right?
You're on get started. It should show you, have you already created like a username and selected
Yes,
all
I
of
have.
that? Okay, yeah. So you can see image generation. Click on image generation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as I clicked on it, it says I'm in that same. It brought me back to this same place now again.
So it might probably be a glitch. So please just hold on, okay? While I just finish this, then while it's generating, I can come back to that.
Okay.
All right. So, as I was saying, some of all these softwares are kind of like in their early stages, right? And they need a lot of people to test, train the AI. In the next couple of years, all this glitch that we're having, would have been reduced by then. But at least for now, they're still performing the functions that they should, perform.
I'm on a place that says type a prompt.
Okay, exactly. You are there now. Yes. So that's where we are on now.
So what should I do?
Okay, so the first thing, this is what I was saying. We can all put in the chat whatever you want us to, generate. I was about to just generate something. So you also think about what you want to generate yourself. But as I was saying, you only have about 3 to 4 trials. So if you're generating something now, we can just test for the first time. So I'm going to say a picture or a queen and king in a futuristic lab. A dog running in the snow with a family. That is easy. We will definitely do that. Rating. Okay. So this is what I want to generate. A king can do this in a, so I want to make it more visual and descriptive. So as much as possible, try and make it descriptive. Descriptive to the best of your knowledge. A king and queen in neon. So neon is like, the lighting and the ambience of the place, what it looks like. Creating gadgets. Yeah, so that's all. So once you are done typing, right, just click on generate. then give it a couple of seconds and it's going to generate. So as I said, I'm not going through all this. So there are a lot of buttons, a lot of settings that you can do so that we don't get ourselves confused. I'm just teaching us the basic thing that you can quickly do before you now start learning how to, okay, I want this kind of resolution. I want high-end image. I want the images to look real. I want it to do this. I want it to do that. Before we do all that, let's just get the basic ones. Okay. So it has generated something for us. I'm sure you can see my screen. And
Wow.
if you also type the same thing on your own screen, you would see what it has generated, right? So remember I said I made it more specific, neon futuristic lab. Now you can see the background. It has the lights, the ambience, even on their body, it also has that. And what are they creating? They're creating gadgets, which is good, right? So one thing, I wanted an African king and all that. It didn't really do that. So what I would do is, let me edit it again before I will edit it.
Can I share my screen? I generated a logo.
You generated a logo.
Yes.
Okay, please hold on.
For Jackpa.
For Jackpa, okay.
Oh.
I don't know if we can share images on, like, in the
Say,
chat.
can I
It would
share
have
my
been good.
screen?
No, so because of the presentation, it would have been good
Okay.
for us to, you can take a screenshot and please share it
Okay.
in the chat. Yes, that would help to reduce, time. And African king and queen. So I'm trying to be more specific. So again, guys, if you see these images, they look more realistic other than what we have out there right now. Some of all these other AI tools, art generation tools, they're not as realistic as what you would have here. If you see this now, this looks like a stock image, right? That has been generated based on this. I'll also teach us how to make motion from it. For adventure, you want to create motion, exactly. Now, we have our African prince and king. This one does not look like a king, but looks like prince, young star, but it's still part of it. And these AI, they're not perfect. I mean, they are doing what they should, at least. So I like this one. I'm going to just enlarge it so we'll see what it looks like. Okay. They said it looks like the badge. Okay. So yes, so it's looking almost realistic. There's still a fault in it because if you look at the eyes, look at the details, look at the finger, right? This lady, I think she has 6 fingers or 7 or so, right? So there's still improvement in what AI can do. But I mean, just thinking, you can bring your imagination into reality. Oh, wow. So I can see your Jackpa. Okay. So you see, AI is not yet at the stage that you can rely totally on it. It's just supposed to guide you, give you help and, inspiration. At least this is looking like a logo, right? You can probably give this as a reference to, original designer. And I would say this, you cannot take the place of we designers because I'm in that circle too, right? I was in a conference and somebody was demonstrating and say you can use AI to do your logo, and to do some sophisticated things that we designers would normally do. I'm like, there's no way. He did a demonstration. The AI did not spell the name of the brand correctly, right? AI is still learning. It hasn't gotten to the place where you can leave, people like, like designers. You can only use AI now as for inspiration because it can think, it can bring your imagination. So for example, you as a project manager, business analyst, right? You're just thinking and saying, what if we have an image that, we have a stone flying in the sky, and then the designer is looking at you and you just like, you know what, don't worry. Come to Leonardo, generate it, and gives him, and he said, oh, okay, so I can do it like this, I can do it like that. So gone are those days when you just talk. Now you can actually bring your imagination into reality. And the good thing about this app, you can also generate emotion graphics. So Efosa, I see what you've done. I mean, thank you for sharing your screenshot. That's good. So guys, if we've generated something also very interesting, please feel free to put it in the chat. Everybody will will like it. So I see one thing I'm seeing from your logo, I don't think you are specifying the type of logo you want it to generate for you. You have to be specific and
I
say,
am.
hey, I want
What I did,
African.
what I asked was, I said, generate a local contemporary Nigerian a local contemporary African restaurant with a Nigerian feel. So
This does not look like Nigerian. It looks Asian to me, like Chinese. Anyway,
no, the last one looks Chinese, but the one that has green tree, green this thing. I mean, you are in
yes, yeah, it looks local and all of
that kind
Yeah,
of thing. Then
exactly.
the brown can represent maybe the rustic feel, like village chair setting, those kind of
Yes,
exactly.
exactly. Yeah. So I see from Francis, yes, your futuristic elementary classroom. Good. So for example, you have a website that is talking about education and children and talking about advancement. And you want to show that, okay, this is what you don't need to go and meet somebody to use 3D model, AutoCAD, Sketch 3D to create all these other things. Create it right here and use for your website. Okay. All right. So that's that about that. So for the last feature I want to show us, which is generating motion graphics. So from this image that has generated, you can create a 4 seconds video from this static image. So all you need to do is, before I do that, let me just show you. So go to the image, it will give you like 4 selections, right? Of the initial, your prompt. So when you mouse over the image, you will see all these too. You can either download the image, you can create motion graphics from it, right? And you can do a whole lot of other things. I'm not going to go into all these things because this software, as it is, this app has a lot of feature in it. So I will just click on generate motion video. So that's what I'm doing now, everyone. If you are not there, go back to your generated images, mouse over any one you want, and click on generate motion video.
Okay.
Yes. Just leave all the settings as it is, leave it the strength to 5, because I know, from my experience, the motion is not as, as perfect as it is. So limiting the motion gives it a little bit more makes it more realistic. Okay, so then generate once you're done. Then give it a few seconds to generate motion for you. Did anyone try to generate a dog running in the snow with a family? Let's see what it looks like. They are I'm sure that is an easy prompt. It's definitely going to, come up with a very almost perfect image for that. Because
Could this be what they use for movies when they want to make fake scene? They'll use this kind of thing. So
No, for movies, they use a lot more sophisticated softwares for all about that, right?
Okay.
So this can just be for proof of concept. If I was making a movie now and I want to tell the other crew and say, you know what, I want a scene of this guy and this guy doing this. All I need to do is generate it and show them for proof of proof of concept. Can we all see my screen?
Yeah.
So it is not perfect, but
but it looks good.
It's still part of it. Advancement. We did not have this, some years back. And even talking about movie making now, right? There are softwares that are specific for doing After Effects now. These are the effects that they didn't actually do while creating, the film, right? That you can actually just draw. From your drawing, there are AI tools that will transform your drawing into, realistic images like this. So you can see this movie. So, for example, I want to create, just a short scene. I can do this and also add it to my website, right? Download it as MP4, convert MP4 into GIF and put on my website, because sometimes MP4 can be very heavy, and then you put on your website and makes your website, slow and increases the screen. So that is that we need to know for now on this AI generation tool. You can go ahead and play around it. As I said, you probably have like 4 trials. You can generate some other things that you think might be good to you, try and create images out of it. Also, it's not as at its best, peak right now. It's just the early stage when, all this can go. And if we have time very well, or even in our normal boot camp, right, we're going to be going in depth into all these softwares, right, to help you generate things that you want to do. That's all. Let me see. Do we have more time? Okay. We have just about 10 minutes to go to the last AI software for today. So because of I just want to use this to show us the difference between other AI softwares and this one. This is not in the chat, so I would go ahead and put this link in the chat right now. So everyone just go to adobe.com/express. Now, everyone knows that Adobe software, their subscription might be expensive for some people, right? And they think you have to pay for everything. Good news, you don't have to pay for this one. It is actually free, right? As you can see here, free use forever, no credit card required. And I tell you that this, as small as it is, Adobe Express does almost the same job, not the same, like 50% job of Photoshop, Premiere Pro, After Effects. So for some of us that don't understand, that are not familiar with these terms that I just called, these are softwares that designers use, that video editors and everything uses. So I'm just showing also that we can also, whenever you're speaking with, you're working on a project, right? And you're in a room filled with designers. You have designers from out of the country. You guys are working remotely and they're telling you something. You should be able to understand all this, right? And that is what this class is for. And in our boot camp, we're going to be doing like in-depth knowledge into all this. At the end of boot camp, you'll be able to design things by yourself, but you don't have to, because you have other people. And by the time they give you a result, you can instantly say, no, this is wrong. And by the time you're talking to the designer, he knows that this person knows what he's talking about, he or her is talking about, right? And that's the essence of learning all this. So if you create this, the same thing, create an account, just click on get Adobe Express free, and then that's all. You don't have to go through so many. Just create an account, and then it brings you into the software. It's good. Okay, so just first and just briefly, I'm going to go into the text to image, right? The image generation, just to show us how it works generally. In this Adobe Express, it helps you can transform your drawing into realistic images. But I will show you, because it is even in its very early stage. It is not as advanced as Leonardo or Dale or some other things. But this is like some quick and easy things that you can do. And it also depends on your prompts. Whatever you generate, it depends on your prompt. So
sorry, how did you get to this environment?
Okay, I'll go back. Have you created an account with Adobe Express?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So are you on this page?
How do you create the account, please?
Okay, if you visit the link that I've put on the chat now, adobe.com/express. Don't go to adobe.com, because if you go there, it will probably tell you to subscribe into some other softwares. Make sure it's that same link. Once you get to that same link, you would see below, like on the header, you'll be able to see get Adobe software. Beside it, you will see free forever. Click on that, get the app, then it should open up Adobe Express. Are you good?
Please, can we do it together, please? I didn't get what you said.
Okay.
He's asking me to.
Maybe you can start from the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. So because I'm signed in here, let me create. I'm opening an incognito window just for us to start from the beginning. Because of time. Okay, 6 minutes more. Sorry, I'm just looking at time. I'm trying to respect everyone's time. I'm sure we all also have things to do. Switching now. Okay, so I'm typing in adobe.com/express. You open that up. I'm moving to the next step. Get Adobe Express free. Let's come to this button right here. get Adobe Express free. And, also reiterating what I said earlier on, free use forever, no credit card required. Then click on Adobe, get Adobe Express for free. Once you click on it, it loads this for you, then tells you to create an account. I'm going to just create an account with one of my Google. Yeah, so you can go through the process of creating the account. And once you're done, I think I probably created accounts with all of my emails. So I won't bother going through this stage. Is it okay? But do you understand? So once you put in your email, go through everything, then next. Are we good?
Well, good. I'm good. I've created my account.
All right. Any other person? I'm moving now to the next.
I'm trying to do to still log in.
Okay. So I'm sure to work out. So once you click in, put in your details, it will take you to like the splash screen. So this is the screen that you will get, this one. That says, what do you want to make? You see here. So as I said, this tool has so many things. You can, use it to schedule like your social media posts. You can create social media things. If you have used Canva before, in my opinion, I would say this is like an advanced Canva software. And for now, it is still free for everyone to use, right? You can, okay, I guess we're all on the same page now. Yes, you can for stock, if you're looking for like stock footages, you can get it from here. Marketing things, so many things. It's like an all-in-one thing, and it is free for everyone nowadays, right? So you can select from templates if you want to do templates. Now, this is a quick place for designers, right? If you want to remove background from, you did a photo shoot, you have your product image, you want to remove the background, just come here. If you scroll down, this is it here, remove background right here. It helps you remove your background. Clean. I've seen it work. It's clean and sharp. Won't go too deep into it right now. You want to resize. Now, if you start designing UI UX very well, you will understand the use of resizing image, because sometimes the client or whoever it is, they will deliver and supply images to you that are not up to size. You have to resize it by yourself and so on. And I was talking about how you downloaded, if you generated a video from Leonardo the other time, and you want that image, that video to be on your website. So for example, if someone opens your website and you want that video to, start playing, you can easily change it to a GIF, or you want to use that video in a presentation, convert it to GIF, and then you go ahead and start using it. And then you have this function here. So many functions, so many templates to pick from. That's all. So we are more particular about this. I'm zooming in so we can see text to image. So click on text to image. You don't write from here now, just click on it.
Text to image. Okay.
All right. So it would automatically fill in like what you call like a placeholder, what they've done. You see us with this and all of that. You will definitely see that, but that's not what we are concerned about. We
But
want
I
to
clicked on it. It didn't do anything for my own. It
What do you
just
mean? When you
I
click on text to image,
text to image. Yes, it just showed the cursor inside. That's all.
did
Same
you
here.
click? Excuse me?
It just showed the cursor inside. Like, you know how you click, then it's showing like I should type something there.
No. So that's why I said don't type in there. Just click on this empty space, the white space where you have. Just click on it, or just click on it, then it will open up. Okay, you can see where my mouse is. Click on there because we want the real interface to come up. You can type, you can generate. This is like a shortcut. You can easily generate from here, and it takes you to that same page. But we don't want to do that. I want to open the main page itself. Then it comes up.
I clicked on the text to image. Nothing is happening.
No, not the text itself, just on the image. Okay, can you look at my screen, please?
Oh, yeah, I can look at your
You
screen.
can
Yeah.
see my cursor, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so come to this middle place here. Click on there.
Okay.
Mhm.
I've clicked on it.
I-
Okay, yeah.
Are we to click on the? Sorry, are we to click on all the one of the images? Because same thing is happening to me. I'm clicking on it and nothing is happening.
Okay, so I'll do this again, looking at the time spent. So if you click on it, just come to this corner here, right? This first card that you have here. Don't click on the text up here. Don't type anything here. Don't click here. Come to where my cursor is, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Then click on it. It takes you to the page that we want to go to. The
Yes,
same
that's
thing
taking me.
All right, exactly. Good. The same thing happens if you type here and click generate, it take you to that page, but just for the sake of this demonstration, we're going to go with that. Okay, so you should see this interface. There are quite a number of buttons there, but we're not going to go through that for now. What we want to go is just to demonstrate and see how advanced Leonardo is over some of all these, softwares. So the same prompt that I typed on Leonardo, I'm going to use the same thing. And then you can also use the same prompt that you created in Leonardo, use it here and see what happens. Okay, so I said an African queen and king, new futuristic.
Are you typing on the text page? You're typing on.
So if you check your left panel, you will
Mm-hmm.
see where you have described what you would like to see. So just look at my screen, you'll be able to see what I'm pointing at. Top left side.
My own
is not
is
show
not
describe
showing.
what.
It's
My
showing
own,
media.
my own is
showing,
not showing me different pictures on the side, right? But there's nothing like type what you like to see. I'm seeing text to image again, upload from device, different.
Exactly. That's where I am.
okay. Let me
Media
go back.
at the top.
Is this what
Yes.
you've seen?
No.
Okay.
Mine is that's not what I'm seeing. It's showing media at the top.
So
This is
can
what
you
I'm
see
seeing.
this? This is
Yeah,
it.
this is what I'm seeing.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. So from there is easy. Just click on the text to image, click on say
Okay.
landscape, and then you get to this place.
Landscape.
Yes, you can click on landscape.
Then
Yeah.
when I click on landscape, my own say you can create new ways with generating AI technology.
Yes.
Should I click agree?
Yes, yes.
Agree. Okay.
Okay, good.
So did it come up?
We're there.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
mom is
So
working.
that's what you created, like that is what you clicked on, square, landscape, portraits, widescreen. It's just the size of what you want to create. And
Okay.
in Leonardo, that same thing is there, but there's a predefined stuff already. So that's okay. Then you can now generate what you want to generate. I'm going to do this quick. So I said the same prompt that you gave on Leonardo, put the same thing here.
Okay.
Can you read it out what you're typing?
No, you don't necessarily have to type the same thing that I'm typing. So the same prompt that
okay.
you used in Leonardo, the previous example, that's
okay.
AI one that we did, yes. Or
Okay,
just
okay.
go ahead and type anything. It's just for you to see, the reality of these softwares, right? Leonardo, you have to pay for it to be able to keep on using it forever, right? This Adobe Express that I've given us is free. So, and if you notice, the same thing is what I did with Chroma and Color Mind, right? Those are free to use. So as much as possible, there are so many AI tools that I can tell us, but some of the advanced ones, you have to pay for them to be able to, use them. But there are also free tools that are still, very good, like this. Adobe Express is still also good. There's also Dale. If you have access to Dale, we all know of ChatGPT, right? They have their own version of Dale. There's also a paid version. Okay, so once you have that, just move your mouse all the way. If you can see my screen, once you're done with your description, go all the way down and click generate. Then watch as it generates this for you. Excuse me.
Wow.
Okay. I'm even surprised. Like it keeps advancing, right? Because the last time I even did this, these were not the result I saw.
Wow. Mm.
So you have so many options that you can choose from. So many.
Mhm.
But the Leonardo seems more advanced and more real.
Yes, Leonardo seems more real actually, but this one is, oh man.
Exactly. So this is, so again, there are settings. If you feel this one doesn't look realistic, you can change your settings. You can say, okay, I want to use a, what's the name of this thing? I want to change the effect.
Okay, I can write that for you to change the effect.
Yes, you can.
Where should I go to now?
Have you generated what you want to generate?
Yes, old woman on a sick bed.
Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to, mine just reloaded, so I'm trying to do that. Okay, so we are going to end this in 3 seconds, in 3 minutes rather, so that we can, I want us to build something from our website today. All right, so we can spend the remaining 30 minutes trying to build that. Okay, so if you've created your own, you should still see this module here. See content type. If you click on it, or content type, you'll be able to see photographic art and all of that. You can click on photo and generate and then see the difference.
Yeah, where did you see that one? Where did you see content type?
So the panel on your left-hand side, you see content type. You see content type, click on it, you can see photographic art and all of that. So that is just telling, the AI to the type of images that you want. So you see, it is still bringing it up, but as I said, it's not as perfect as it should be, but it's trying its best. I mean, the face still needs work and all that. So that's that about this software. Okay. All right, we're moving on.
Please, I'm sorry. Then the effect, how can I get the effect?
Okay, so if you go to your left panel where you
Search.
describe your prompt, can you see
Yes.
that? Okay, just below it, beneath it, you're going to find content type.
Content type. Okay.
Yes.
I've seen content
Then
type.
if you click on the arrow that is pointing up, then
Yes.
yes, you can choose all the different, style that you want. You want it to be artwork, you want it to be like normal photo, you want it to be graphics. Once you select it,
Okay.
go back to the lower part, to the bottom part, and then click on generate again for it to regenerate what it has done before. And that's all. Yes. So guys, the benefits or the usefulness of this is that it's free and you can keep on testing out whatever you want to generate. If we put generate logo, I was just about to say that. Is this your logo again? You and Jackpot Food logo. So it is not as perfect as it should be, but that is what it is. For the sake of we are not yet done creating a logo. If you want to create a very good logo, you would have to, use some other softwares to do that. So for demonstration of this class, we're just going to use an icon and then type out our name in full. for our logo on our website. Is that good? Any question? We're moving to spend the last 30 minutes or 20 minutes actually on Figma. Wow, our time is fast spent. But I hope we are learning something, everyone. Have we gained
Yes.
knowledge?
100.
Yes.
Okay.
120.
To what? That's good. That's good to hear, right? For some of us that are into other, thank you very much too. For some of us that are into other fields that are not design related, UI UX is not even just for designers alone. It is for everybody where you get to learn. And let me quickly just move into Figma, and then next week we know that we are in Figma fully. All right. Okay, so just type figma.com on your site. The same thing, the same process that we've been doing with all of these guys. Create an account. I already have an account, so that's why I'm already here. So to create an account for demonstration, let me also go into like another Windows, and then I can show us how to do that from scratch.
Where are we getting this?
So the link has been put in the chat already, or for the sake of
I've
this,
seen get started for free.
huh?
Is that it for Figma? Get started for free.
Yes, Figma is free for everyone, and that's why we're using. We've carefully selected, these softwares that we're using, so that we don't have to, go and spend a lot. I mean, without even subscribing for things, you can still get things done. That doesn't say for professionalism and for professional and high-end, if you are advancing in your career, I would advise you use Adobe XD, right? For some of your, UI UX thing. It's not just for apps, for everything you're doing, right? So you should see this if you click on figma.com.
Figma.
Yes, figma.com. This is the tool that we are using for our UI UX properly now. And sorry, I'm going to try and speed up a little bit so that we can gain more ground on this software today, and then more of it next class. Okay, so if you are here, get started for free. If you already have an account, because I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with Figma already, just log in. But if you are not, click on the top, on the navigation menu, you will see that black button that says get started for free. Do that, then you can create with your email now, and use your password and create. If not, if you want to create with your Google account, which I like to do sometimes, just save me stress. And what I do is I create like a separate Gmail account for some of all these things, right? I just use that Gmail account for all this, not my personal Gmail account that I have other things in. So once you create an account, it takes you to the page. You're good.
It's asking, tell us about yourself.
Yes, so go ahead and do all of that. It's just trying to get you started.
Okay.
It might ask you, are you using Figma for, in your workplace? How many are you in? What's the capacity of your company? That's just them.
It's asking software development, student or educator,
So you can just use student. Just
or research. Okay.
yes, because for now we are just using it for class. So select student. Are we good?
Should I choose personal use, work, or teaching?
Personal use is fine.
Personal, okay.
Figma is asking for money.
They're asking for money. That's strange, oh.
Yes, and I say, which plan do you want? Starter, free, but limited feature.
There's
Okay.
free now.
There's free. Okay.
Is the free you choose?
Okay.
And I mean, it's something I've noticed now. Most Figma used to be like, I mean, it was 100% free when I started using Figma. I think about 7 years ago. Kind of, it was kind of free. But nowadays, most softwares are already saying that, okay, yes, once in their business plan, once they have when they reach like maybe 2 million users, they start to put in some additional features and say, before you can use this feature, you have to pay, you have to do that. And I mean, everyone is in the business of making.
Sorry, when I put in student or educator, it
Yes.
takes me to it says student educator, user research, and I click on student educator and I continue. Then it takes me to founder, freelancer, at school, at a company, at a boot camp, at an agency.
I choose everything there.
You can, yes, you can choose at boot camp, all of all that.
I choose everything.
Okay.
So they just want to know why you are using their software, right? So it's just also on their own part, user research for them. So if they're going to meet investors now and saying, we need more money, they can easily say, okay, we have 1 million users that are students, 2 million users that are using our software for bootcamp, for educational purposes. Just facts, figures. These are things that we also are trying to do too. Beginning of this, we did our research. That's their own way of continuous research. Okay, so let's go. Sorry, everyone. I didn't know that we really spent a lot of time trying to use AI and all. Can we see my screen?
Well, see your face.
Not your screen.
My face is good now. You don't want to see my face. Okay, oh, I will show you what you want to show, not my face. What you want to see, rather. Okay, I believe you should see my screen now. Huh?
Yeah, we're seeing your screen, but how do I get to this part? Because I've signed in, I've done everything. So
Yes.
what?
So you should see this once this is what you can see, right?
Well, that's not what I can. It's showing me product page, shopping cart, home page, practice design, different stuff.
So, okay, for the sake of this, just let me log out and log in again.
Wow.
Okay.
Sorry, is the professional is asking for money? Can we pick up starter?
You're supposed
Sorry
to
for
use
doing that.
starter. You're supposed to use starter, the free version. Professional
Okay.
means you're going professional. You definitely have to pay. Are we all in?
I mean, no, but I don't understand what this Figma is showing me here. I beg.
Just hold on, please. So yes, just as a recap, we've done this, we've done that. Yes, I wanted to show us Photoshop, but that will be next week, right? For us to go through Photoshop. Okay. All right. I'm trying to log in so that I'm doing it from start with everyone. Do we have anyone that has used Figma for designing here before?
How?
No, speak for yourself.
Maybe Francis has, or maybe Francis, because the way Francis is just catching this in sharp. Me, I don't even understand.
Okay.
Efosa, don't start.
Yeah, maybe you don't, because wait till they catch the thing sharply. Me not the understand. Be like say.
No, I've not.
Okay. Okay, so as I said, I'm trying to log in with my stuff, so I'll just briefly log in with this. Then you should see this. If you've not created any, recently shared projects, if you've not created anything, you won't see anything in your recently viewed, right? So it's going to be empty. Okay. Okay. So once you want to click on practice more or a new file, Sorry, I'm trying to read and answer everyone at the same time. Yes, so you can create a new file. So what we are doing, we're not creating any of this. So move, if you can see the same thing on your screen, right? Click on, go to your top right corner, you will see design file. Can we all see that?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, yes. So you can click on design file. So for me now, my Figma has I have like multiple teams that I work with. So that's why my configuration might be a little bit different from yours. But once you click on new file and click on maybe your team, if your team is there, it will go ahead and just create this canvas for you. You should see this. And then this interface is called IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Almost every software has their own IDE, and that's what it is, right? You get to see all about this. And then on the top, so I'll go through the tools for today. That might only be what we might be able to do because of our time. Your tools that you're going to be working with are here. These are, I call them small but mighty. You know, there are very few, unlike Adobe and some other tools like that. They have, you see so many, icons and so many tools, right? But this guy is just this guy, and then you can do a lot with it. So all your tools are here. And if you select any tool on the top, I'm referring to the top left corner. You select any tool, just look on the right-hand side, the right panel, you'll be able to see, the attributes that you can, for that tool. So for example, if you're creating a rectangle, you need to, what's it called? You need to have options to increase the width, change the color, and yada, yada, yada. Okay, so remember we have our color. Please, everyone, we can create a folder. If you have not created on your system, create a folder. Remember our colors that we've chosen. Put those screenshots that you created inside the folder. The images that you generated and you downloaded, put it. If you've not, please, your free time before next week, it's like an assignment for us, right? Generate pictures of what you want to create, because we are all going to be creating this website together. Generate picture of say somebody eating in a restaurant. Food, try our local things. Picture of amala, right? If not, you can always go to Google. If everyone is on Google, right? Amala food PNG, or you can say HD. And what I do sometimes, I instruct Google to give me the specific type of images I want. Then go to the image, then you can see different images. Go ahead and start downloading some of all these things. And again, for record purposes, we are not going to be using any of these images for business purposes. This is just for education and demonstration purposes. So if you're downloading any of this, please do not reuse for commercial purposes, because these pictures belongs to someone else, so that you don't fall victim of any copyright issue. Save those pictures, put in your folder. Next week, we'll start. The next thing we're going to do is using our colors. We have our logo, our images, and next week we're going to be building our website fully well. Thank you guys very much for today. And I believe we've been able to at least learn a thing or two, and we'll continue next week. And just also to chip in, we're going to be having our boot camp, coming very soon in April, from April 13th to June 15th. Right. I like to tell people you can easily learn, UI, UX, some of all these things elsewhere, right? You can go to YouTube and learn, but what you won't learn in these other places is first of all, theoretical parts, the human interaction, the guidance. Now, what it might take you years, or let me say days to learn, you can easily learn it in a day while being trained by somebody, right? So that is what we are doing. We're having our boot camp. You can visit the link that is showing where you can see. Now, we have it's a 10-week course. Easy. It's not just meant for designers only. It's meant for everyone, right? You don't need to have design skill at all. We're going to be learning that. And trust me, for this easy catch, the cost is 1,200, but for early bird, we're giving a 16% discount, which brings it to under 1,000. And you can have 3 installment payments, right? We have all of this available just to make it easy for you. And in 10 weeks, I can guarantee you that you're going to become a master in this field, right? Because one, you are learning from somebody that has over 8 years of experience in this. And it is for aspiring UI UX designers, business analysts, solution architects, product owners, product managers, even project managers themselves, and anything that has to do with IT focus, right? It's for everyone, because you don't want to be in a business. You don't want to be managing somebody that is doing this thing and you don't know what it's all about. And I guarantee you are not just learning design skills, you are learning a lot of things. What we did today with AI and all that, that's not necessarily design skills. It's meant for everyone. We're going to be learning this in details, how you can, use multiple softwares to help yourself. And trust me, even a child can learn this. You say, with the things that we've done, you don't need special tools. All you need is come with your laptop or your phone. You can even use your phone or your tablet to learn and do all these things. Okay, so that is that about the class. It is open. You can go to the website now. For a limited time, the discount still applies to everyone. And if it's late, if it's all, we have a limited number that we can also accept into this class. So the earlier, the better for you, so that you can learn. Okay. And if you want more information, you can always reach us on the phone number on the screen. This would also be pasted in the chat room where you can see more about, how to contact us and how. So before we round off, we use the next 4 minutes. Any question from anyone?
Yes. Oh, so are you the one teaching the class?
By God's grace.
Okay, good. Good. Just you, right?
Wow, you want someone else?
I just want to know if it's gonna be just you or
It's just
someone
me.
else.
It's
Okay,
just
good.
me. It's just me.
Good. This is my first time.
Okay.
Actually, my first, yeah. So I wasn't here last week. So I don't know. What's your name?
Sorry. My name is Oluwatosin Ilara. We
Okay.
mentioned that earlier on. And as I said, I'm into the field of UI UX. I have over a decade of experience in, the creative industry right now. I'm currently working as a lead designer in a, marketing and creative agency right here in Canada. Right. And in the hierarchy of UI UX design or design world generally, a lead designer is, we would say, one of the tops, right? One of the top positions that you can be in. After that is something else. So you are safe, and I believe I can impart knowledge into, anyone. And that's something I love doing.
Okay, good. So another question, is this gonna be USD or Canadian dollars?
Canadian dollars.
Canadian dollars, okay. Okay, so but I'm in the US, so how do I make the payment?
Yes, so if you go through our website, the payment platform that you're going to be using, it will automatically convert to the currency wherever you are. So whether you're in US, to show you your payment in US dollars.
Okay.
That's good.
Good.
Thank you, everyone.
Sorry, I have a question too. So does it convert to Naira as well? If we want to pay in Naira, does it convert?
Yes, I believe so. Yes. So in the chat, you can see the details. We use stripe.com. So it automatically converts to any currency you want. And that also allows you to be able to have, installment payments, right? And you don't have to pay everything at once.
I was going to ask that. That was my next question.
Okay, great.
Just to be clear. So this is not just for project managers and people in other fields, right? Like if I want to switch career, if I want to switch from whatever I'm doing to be a UI UX designer, is this the right course for me? I just want to make sure.
Absolutely. This is the right class for you. It is not for, it's for people that have actually absolute zero idea about design, because of the way our modules and our syllabus have been, created. Is for somebody that has no design knowledge to be able to learn from scratch to finish. As I said, aspiring designers, business analysts, solution architects, anybody whatsoever that wants to learn all of this. And if you want to switch a career to UI UX design, this is the perfect class for you. And in the class, because we're going to be doing much more than just UI UX design, I think our time is up. We're going to be learning even a bit of coding, which doesn't really, we're not going to be learning everything. It's just for you to have the knowledge, because as a project manager, for example, you're working with designers, you're working with developers, you're working with so many other people. You need a know-how of everything, right? If your developer is telling you it's going to take him, say, 20 hours to implement just this web page, and you have a knowledge of HTML, CSS, and some other things, I'm like, okay, why? Why is it going to take you 20 hours to do this? I already know the code and the language that you want to use, even though I don't know it to the fullest, right? You can defend the time that you're allocating to your colleagues. So these are the things that we'll be teaching. Out there, you will find so many boot camps. They don't really go into coding and all these things. And again, not to scare anybody, we are not doing in-depth coding. It's just for you to understand, just like what we've done with AI and all this. Simple as that. So thank you guys very much. Any other question before we round off? I'll take silence.
I have a question, please.
Okay.
Thanks for the training. It was really nice, and I learned a lot today. My question is, after the bootcamp training, can one get a job, or we have to do maybe internship and all that before we can get something doing with the course?
Okay. Thank you for asking. That's a good thing. And next week, next week, that's what I'm going to move into, right? To show us the jobs that we can get. I mean, off the top of my head, there are more than 12,000 jobs available right now. If you just go to your job search, just search and just say UI UX designer. They are looking for so many people in this field. So getting a job is no brainer. We'll definitely discuss more about, the jobs that are available and, salary range and all that, because people that are in this field are not earning less than, trust me, just go out there, do your research. You definitely.
I've actually checked. That's why I asked the question, because majority of the job openings are saying 5 years experience and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, wow, 5 years.
No, no. Okay, so first of all, for this next class that is coming and this flyer that we'll be sharing, please share it with your colleagues so that next week we have like a much more fuller class and everybody can learn more. It's a free master class before the main class and everything. And just so I touch more, because I don't want to take too much of our time, I'm sure a lot of people, want to do this, trying to respect the time that we've allocated for this. But briefly, there are various. In last class, we discussed about different types of jobs that you can get, right? So if you see any job that says you should have 5-year experience before you be this, it's either the role is, say, senior, UI UX designer and all of this. You can be a UX researcher, which you don't need any experience. You just need, you just need to have your certificate once you've done the exam. And that's what we discussed before we started doing like a Google certification. You can start. There are various levels. You start from junior designer, move to your senior, or you can even be at, intermediate and all that. So, okay, so there are different levels that you can get to. Does that answer the question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so just so that I, expatiate more on it, research has shown that we have over 88 million UX UI related jobs. So I tell you guys, the time is now. Please register for the bootcamp. Take advantage of, the discount that you have right now. And I'll see you guys same time, next week. Thank you very much for your participation.
Please, can I ask one last question, please? I'm sorry, just one last question. So
Okay.
I looked at the requirements, right? So like some of these job posts, and I saw one that says you must have like HTML knowledge. Do you teach that also? Is that included in the curriculum?
Thankfully, yes. Thankfully, that is what we're going to do. Introduction to HTML and CSS. So you're in the right hands. Just go and register right away. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.